Tim Brown, and I'm the author of the book Boys Won't Be Boys and Uncommon Athletes. And I'm blessed to have with me today our brother Fred Parker, who has been instrumental in so many men's lives and young guys' lives from a mentoring standpoint. I met Brother Parker first at Second Baptist Church when my children were young. I was a young parent, and I was just excited to see positive Black men, doing some positive things in the community. And I just remember vividly, Brother Park would come in once a month and just educate the children there, young children, on Black history, African American. And they would come home just talking about what Brother Parker talked about and how inspired they were and encouraged. And to this day, our children, my son, they're in their 30s now, but they have fond memories of those times. And that's just the impact that a mentor and a man has. And so I wanted Brother Parker to come on and just talk about that, about how important mentoring is and what led him to it and what men before him did in his life. So, Brother Parker, welcome to the broadcast today.
Thank you, Tim. It's good to be with you.
Yeah. Could you share a little bit about growing up? And I see all of Chicago's items back there. I see that smile of Michael Jordan with a trophy and
oh yeah,
and all that. Can you share
we
about
dominated?
About growing up in Chicago? Can you share about that experience?
Right. Oh, Tim, we used to drive down the Navy Pier. At that time, the Navy Pier that you see now wasn't that way. And we go down there and play basketball. And we'd leave Navy Pier and go to the north side, and which was different from us. We were from the south side, and it was all relevant. It was all clear to us, the difference between the north side and the south side. Now, my parents, they live in, my mama graduated from Inglewood High School. Inglewood, you hear about Inglewood all the time now. She graduated from there, that high school. My daddy graduated from Wendell Phillips High School, okay, in the Chicago public school system. But we were always proud. Number one, my daddy was a college graduate. He graduated from Roosevelt University. This is how I know what I know. I'm just trying to share. Yeah. This is how I know what I know. We used to go to the Capitol Theater on 78th and Halsted. And one day, my daddy is taking me to the Capitol Theater. And I think he's going to take me to see a movie. I think my daddy's going to take me to see a movie. But we went to a meeting of Operation Breadbasket. A young 29-year-old by the name of Jesse Jackson was in charge. And he made it a point, and he wanted me to see this young man, Jesse Jackson. And that's where I learned I am somebody. I am so, I teach the young people.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Of course, they know that, because we are, okay. We look today at Brianna in Louisville, Kentucky, and that saddens us. We got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. Tim, we've been in this battle for a long time.
What word would you give to these young guys, you know, that's in the battle now? What would you say to them from your experience on how they can really impact change?
Number one, get educated. Number two, vote. Number three, be the man in your family. My daddy died in 2014. And I was told by one of my dad's mentors, you'll never be half the man your dad was. And he was correct. I will not. My dad worked 2 full-time jobs. He was a supervisor at the post office, and he worked at the Chicago Public Schools as a supervisor. 16 hours a day. He sent me and my 3 siblings to college. I'm the first one to come to Ohio. My brother followed me. He's an attorney here in Ohio now. I will never be a dad. Never.
It's hard falling.
What a blessing.
What a blessing. What a blessing.
What a blessing.
I know your dad. It sounds your dad was definitely your first man. Who were some other men that was in your life that came alongside and helped mold you?
Oh, Tim, it was a whole lot of them. We grew up on 81st and Princeton in Chicago. And we had a block that was adjacent to a park. So we got, you know, I used to, when I was a kid, I dropped my baseball glove out of the window in my ball and jump out the window. And the reason I did that is because they're gonna tell me to cut the grass before I leave. And I jump out that window, and I know our neighbor, Mr. Taylor, saw that.
Yeah. But
I had to be out there. You know, you got to be out there if you gonna get chosen.
Right.
You got to be out there. But we had people like we had numerous people on our block that were Chicago police officers, Chicago firefighters, Chicago public school teachers. They were educated. They did not have the same opportunities back then. My sister's an orthopedic surgeon, my baby sister. My daddy could have been that had he had the opportunity.
That's it. Yeah, just getting young people to understand opportunities,
right,
and why they had those opportunities, because of the sacrifices, you know, that your dad made, that those before them had made.
Right. My daddy, let me tell you this, Tim. I used to always, I told you about the park that was adjacent to my house. When I first went to high school, Lynn Bloom in Chicago, Lynn Bloom, which is on 62nd and Walcott in Chicago. And everybody in the neighborhood, they knew my daddy. And they told me, your daddy looking for you. He knew where I was. I was at the park. I'm playing sports. I love sports. And daddy came and got me. He says, listen, boy, he said, you in high school now. And this is a significant part of your life. It'll mold who you are. And he was, his parents always are, he was correct.
He was correct. Yeah, they're right. They're right.
He was correct. And I came to Columbus, Ohio, and went to Capital University. It was the best move I've made in my life.
Why is that? Why would you say that?
It's the first time, and she's a white woman, Janine Deasy. She was an English teacher, and she told me I could write. I went to, all black schools in Chicago, of course. That's how it was. That's how it is now. All black school. Nobody told me I could write, And I mean, that just blossomed me. You hear me? It gave me some confidence. And I used to start to write. And I wrote about things that I knew. I wrote about things that I knew, that I lived when I was growing up in Chicago. And that's what brought me to be, run for president of the NAACP in this town. They don't know what I know. I ain't been to the Capitol Theater where I met a 29-year-old Jesse Jackson. Okay. They have not been there. Okay. They don't know my experience. Right. And it shaped me, it molded me. And when I came to Columbus, Ohio, it really had influence on it had influence on how I molded myself. I tried to be I wanted to be, right all the time. I wanted to be right all the time. Sometimes it's difficult to be right all the time. And I knew I could not let my daddy down. That's the most significant point. I could not let him down. He worked 2 full-time jobs. I could not let him down. You hear me?
That's what it is. That's a reason. That's the reason. When you share with young people, let's fast forward to today. If you were with a group and telling them that I am somebody, what does that mean? What are you trying to get them to understand in that whole?
Oh, they're powerful.
Yeah,
they're powerful. This Black Lives Matter. I don't condone no violence now, but this Black Lives Matter shows that. And I am so proud of those that I'm gonna tell you, Tim, I was involved with the NAACP. I'm still involved in NAACP. I'm always gonna be involved in NAACP. But as an officer for 22 some years and 6 years as president here in Columbus, we always have to focus. And for these young people now, you better know. You better be focused.
As you talked about being focused, I hear you talking and hearing your story about all the siblings, brother, and education. How important that is. You know, how important that is to for our young people. Can you just encourage young people? Just tell them how important this education is in voting, and you know, to make a difference.
Well, I'm the oldest,
Okay.
but I wasn't the smartest in my family. Got my siblings. Let's document. I've got my baby sister is an orthopedic surgeon. She graduated from Brown University undergrad and Howard University School of Medicine. My brother, he followed me to Columbus, Ohio. He graduated from Capital University and Capital University School of Law. My sister, Sabrina, who's behind me, she's second behind me. Sabrina was a ballet dancer. She danced with Arthur Mitchell's Dance Theater of Harlem in New York City. Been all over the world, Australia, every place. She graduated from City College of New York, and she got her master's from DePaul University in Chicago. That's how blessed we were, Tim. Now, I'm telling you, my dad and my mom, they were the ones that showed us the way.
Yeah, I think
they were the ones that showed us the way. I can remember my dad when he put me on the airplane at I think it was O'Hare, it might have been Midway. And he said, "Well, this is it." And I knew what he was saying. You're not coming back here, okay? You're going to get your degree or you're going to join the Army. That's it. That's how frank it was in those days, you know. Matter of fact, that's it. Gave you this opportunity. You got an opportunity. What you gonna do with it? Sooner or later, you got to grow up to be a man. You ain't a boy no more. You hear me? That's how it is.
Yeah, that's why this conversation is so important. That, like you said, at some point you got to grow up to be that man. Give me just a quick snapshot of some of those qualities that we need to instill in young men today. To kind of fill in that gap, because there are a lot of single mothers who are kind of searching, trying to fill in that gap. And even men, even for me, I was there for my sons, but I was a young dad. And so I needed men like yourself, like Greg Arnold, men in church, Pastor Melvin Brown.
Yeah.
I was watching you all, how you all handle things, that helped me raise my family, so to speak. Some of those qualities. What are some of those qualities that you think we as men need to be passing on to this next generation of young guys?
Truthfulness. Be truthful to who you are. Number one. Now, you don't lie. Be truthful. Why should you lie? No reason. No reason. Just be truthful. And embrace who you are. Embrace who you are. Embrace your roots. Who your mom and daddy were. What a blessing. Embrace your church. Embrace the church. Church is significant. And in education, Tim, for me, education was the route. Education was the route. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and it still is. It still is. It's still one of those options. You know, it's a great option. You know, to pursue. You can't go wrong with education. You know, you can't go wrong.
You are correct. And I mean, when I was growing up in Chicago, there are a lot of people. I had a lot of friends, this, that, and the other. A lot of them didn't make it out because they did not embrace education as a path. They didn't make it out. That's it. And it's sad. It is sad, but that's the reality. Yeah. If you gonna make it in today's world, you better make sure, if you're a young person, if you're talking to young people, you better take your ACT, SAT, and you better be prepared. I come out of Capital University. I used to be assistant director of admissions at Capital University. They look at all that. You better be ready. You better be prepared. And then when you get there, for me, it was different because I come from an all-Black community, Chicago, South Side. We ain't no white people around us. So I had to adapt to a different environment. And because of my Christian experience, I was able to. That's it. Okay. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge for this generation, is be prepared, be ready, take advantage of every opportunity, every experience. And like when your dad told you, this is it. You know?
This is it. I knew what he was saying.
This is it. Oh, this is it. But he knew
you're not coming back here.
Right. But he had prepared you along the way. And that's the key. And that's what we have to do with these young guys. We got to prepare. That day is coming. That day. And you got to be prepared for it. But when you're prepared,
yeah, you got to be a man. You got to man up. Yeah, you gotta when you going to be a man?
Right. Yeah, you got to talk.
When you going to take care of your own family? You know, buy your own car, your own place to stay. I mean, you got to do that.
There's a responsibility that comes with that, you know. But it's a great reward when you do it the right way, you know. Being nothing like being a man, having your own, being responsible. That's what manhood is all about.
Yeah.
That's that next, you know? And that's what men back in the day prepared us for that. And I want
to Tim, when we get it right, it just feels good.
It does. It really does. It really does. And that's what I believe these young guys have to see, persons like yourself, you know, like who are older, who've been through it, you know, and they can see what the end looks like, you know.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, we ain't complaining, you know.
It's
part of what we do, you know. But it's what we're supposed to do. But at the same time, we're supposed to do it and we share with others, you know, like you said, tell them the truth, being transparent, letting them know this ain't easy. It ain't easy to get here. It's going to take some work. You know, it's going to take some
and listen to your parents. They know they've been there, done that. Okay?
Yeah, listen to them.
Listen to them, please. I remember not to regress, but I remember my mom used to tell me stuff, and in the aftermath, I was like, Mommy was right. Mommy was right. Well, she lived that, been there. She was 16, 17, 18 before you were. Okay. And she was right.
Oh, yeah,
Took me a while to learn that.
but that was right.
But I did.
Yeah. Let me close with this. Give me one of those things that you remember your mom and dad saying, one of those sayings that you heard them say, and you found yourself saying that same thing to your daughter, to your children.
In other words, listen to this. That's what my daddy would say.
Right.
If you didn't understand, he said, in other words, this is it.
This is it.
That's it.
If you didn't get the first time, in other words, this is it. Now you got it. I don't know how else to tell it to you. In other words, this is it. This is it, and this is it, and that's a good word. And I want to thank you for your time. We can go on and on, but I wanted to get this, and I think I got something on here that'll bless some people. I know it's going to bless some persons, you know, to hear your story and just to be encouraged. That's what it's all about. Just encouraging that next.
I really appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the invitation. And I appreciate what you're doing.
Well, thanks again for joining, and I'm looking forward to broadcasting this, and so person can be and keeping hope alive. You know, that's Jesse J.
Keep hope alive. I am somebody.
Amen.